La 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 lattes were a. Hey y'all, welcome to Latte's World, and of course this is your girl T with Tay. Well, I'm Tay. This is the T. I would like to welcome all my loyal Tays. Today we're gonna be getting into a little news. It is disturbing, but of course I gotta do what I do and come and spill it. So let's get into the video. It's about a young lady from the Bronx. She's 22 years of age. Unfortunately, she actually did kill her two toddler children. So like I said, let's get into the
years
video.
old. It happened over the weekend in the Mount Hope neighborhood of the Bronx. With the latest, here's Eyewitness News reporter Josh Onier.
On a windswept block off the Grand Concourse, dozens of candles are shining bright tonight. More candles than two little boys ever had a chance to blow out. Alongside teddy bears, they never had a chance to hug.
That's the young lady that was walking with her two little kids the other day, but she didn't look like she would harm her kids.
All day outside the city-managed family shelter where the unthinkable unfolded over the weekend, neighbors struggled to understand.
Just don't take the lives of the lives that you gave. You know what I'm saying? Like that's strong, you know, like that's rough. You don't do that, you know, your life is never gonna be the same.
Deshaun Fleming was only 3. His little brother Octavius just 11 months old. And in this recent family photo, you'd never guess the apparent turmoil raging within their mother, Damone Fleming. But Saturday evening, cops say the 22-year-old stabbed both of her children repeatedly in the neck and torso, then submerged their bodies in a bathtub and covered them up with piles of dirty laundry before trying to set their apartment on fire. Arriving officers stopped Fleming and took her away, but no one saw the children in the tub until later, when the baby's father rushed home.
All I hear is him yelling, "Help me, help them." I see the babies on the stretchers. You know, the EMTs were doing CPR, and I couldn't believe it. It's devastating, you know. It's unfortunate that these parents, they decide to have kids and then they decide to take them out of this world. And they're so innocent.
The motive for this killing remains incomprehensible. Law enforcement sources say the mother made statements about the devil as detectives were questioning her, and so now she's been admitted to the psych floor at Elmhurst Hospital as she awaits arraignment on 2 counts of murder.
Hey y'all, as you can see, I am back, and of course I'm going to give my opinion like I always do. Well, for me, this is hard and it's very disturbing. I'm a mother, I have small children, and you really don't think, or you put yourself in the mindset of saying, how could somebody bring themselves to hurting their children? Now, for me, I don't think there's no good enough reason that a person would have to hurt their children, to be honest with you. But this goes and falls under the mental illness actions that I be talking about all the time that people deal with, and then it takes something tragic to happen for people to see that there was ever a problem. You can't judge a book by its cover. This young lady is 22 years old. She has a 3-year-old and 11-month-old. Okay, if I'm certain. For one, she's young herself. Now, I'm not saying she's 14, 15 years old young, but 22 years old is not really that old. She's still actually just getting into life, adult life herself. So when you have a child or children and you dealing with everyday life, but mental illness always plays a part, because a lot of women deal with postpartum depression. A lot of women deal with postpartum depression. And even though we love the human beings that we bring into the world, we be suffering ourselves as women from doing the same thing it took to bring them into the world, which is delivery. When you have a baby, your body changes. You go through a lot of emotions. That's just pregnancy. Now, when this child comes out into the world, it's your full-fledged responsibility to make sure that this child is okay. And some people are able to do that. And kudos to you if you are able to maintain a situation and be responsible outside of dealing with everything else that you have going on. But postpartum is very serious. Depression is very serious. Mental illness is very serious. And any of the 3 not getting dealt with is very serious. I've seen comments on social media, oh, how could she do this to her kids? And there is some people that's evil in this world, excuse me, to where there's just no excuse. Now, I'm not saying there's even an excuse within this situation because everything would be alleged to assume because we were not there. But what I would say is you never know what another person was dealing with or walking around with on their plate before this situation happened or before it led up to this situation at all. These were two beautiful baby boys. They looked like they were well kept. From the pictures, I mean, of course, you see I got a picture here. I always keep a picture so that way a person can reflect on what it is that I'm talking about. But from the picture, you wouldn't think that she was dealing with anything. But we all have things that we deal with when nobody is there. We all have our demons that we deal with when no one is around. And those be the things that some people don't win the battle sometimes. I mean, after battling so long, some people actually surrender and give into what it is that they've been battling. How y'all know how long she's had thoughts? Because I'm going to just be honest. This world has become a very tragic place. That's the way to say it. This world has become a very tragic place because even on the news, social media, in regular conversation, you don't hear the positive things that's going on in the world. You only hear about the tragedies that's taking place in the world, which makes me believe, even if you don't believe yet, as of within this point, we are living in tragic conditions. People are very, very on edge. People are walking on eggshells. Since COVID took place and at the age with these children, the age of these children, they were made during COVID. These are what they will call pandemic babies. So inside of a pandemic, you bringing something into a pandemic, your mind has to be overall strong to deal with the normal, let alone the access. So when you have mental illness, you might have postpartum, or you might be dealing with depression. And then the littlest things, you got babies crying, you got babies needing to be fed, you got schedules that you have to upkeep, you got a household that you have to maintain. And I think they were living in a shelter. I'm going to have to actually look or listen back at the story to find that out, because that's a whole different stress. She also needed a place for her and those children to have to stay, if I'm correct. From what the news reporter said, this woman was about to set that apartment on fire. She had already put those children's body in the bathtub and covered them with soiled, dirty clothes. Basically, I guess so that way they would ignite just along with the apartment as well. When you got a mind state and you feel like everything around you is evil and people that you trying to talk to are not listening, you start feeling, for one, I don't want to leave or have my kids grow up in a world in which is treating me bad for them to have to go through the same thing that I am going through now as an adult. I wish those were not the decisions that a person came to make, where the answer overall becomes to remove your children from this world. But they found that young lady butt naked in the apartment. So she couldn't be in her right mind. Her right mind had been gone. Her right mind had left, if that makes any sense. So sometimes there's a deep, you know how they say if you plant a seed, a flower will grow. We don't know how long the seed of mental illness was setting in before she couldn't battle the fight anymore and gave into what demons were she was fighting. If it wasn't for the kid's father or the man in the situation to let them know, as far as the kids and him going in there, the people wouldn't have never even known that the kids were in there hurt. You know that woman couldn't have been in her right state of mind to be able to look a baby in their face and stab them repeatedly over and over and over again in their neck, in their torso. When she does get the proper evaluation that she needs, and her mind state comes back to what it could be far as healthy, and she realized what she's actually done. Oh my God. Anyway, this has been your girl T with the Tay. Tay with the T. There we go. I'm still on my 100K. I don't know if y'all can see the sign back there, but it say 100K subscriber chase. If you like this video or any other video that I do, please make sure you like, comment, and share. Please do your girl that favor. Hit that sub button, because like I was about to say, and I'm going to say over and over again, I'm on that 100K chase. Support the movement. This has been your girl, Lala Latte. And you in Latte's world, make sure you love on those that cannot love themselves. You never know what someone is battling and dealing with. You never know how much of a small part can be a major part in someone else's life. So please, if you can, or if you also are someone that needs or are dealing with something that you don't understand, please try to reach out, call out, and get some type of help. Sometimes the best help can come from those that you don't know. There's no judgment involved, and don't feel that just because a person don't know you, they can't help you. That's the best opinion ever, a non-biased one. And like I said, I'm out. Lattes were a.